Throughout the planning for our trip to Australia, one name kept coming up again and again: the Whitsundays.
Turn right, then you have reached your destination on your right.
Everyone told us that these magical islands are an absolute must-see, so today we're arriving at the gateway to the Whitsundays, Airlie Beach, where we'll be staying at another renowned destination, a Big4 holiday park. Big4 has locations all over Australia, and while we've stayed at some very nice places already, we're about to find out why Big4 has a reputation for being the best. It doesn't hurt that we're renting our campervan from Maui, which gets us a 10% discount at all Big4 parks. We've mentioned that caravan parks here usually feature camp kitchens, but this is the biggest and nicest one we've seen. And it's not the only one. Besides two large camp kitchens, there's a beautiful section of the park with covered barbecue grills, plus a picnic area and kitchen with its own pizza oven. That same section of the park has a large swimming pool with lots of shade, and what turned out to be our favorite feature, a water park. You haven't lived until you've been hit in the head with 600 liters of water. There are plenty of other park features for whatever level of kid you might be. Like other caravan parks we've stayed at, smaller RV tank capacities here mean that bathrooms and showers are almost everywhere. But we haven't seen facilities this extensive before. Besides RV sites, there are also cabins and apartments. While you're walking or driving around the park, be sure to look out for cockatoos crossing the road. Speaking of flying residents, the coolest things we saw here are rainbow lorikeets. Each morning the park feeds them, so they put on quite a colorful show as they assemble for chow time. Whatever they're feeding them, these guys sure like it. So it's time to get ourselves out to the Whitsundays. The first day we took a kayak trip out into the sparkling water. We stopped for lunch at a small island called White Rock and got in some swimming and snorkeling. Keep in mind that we're here during jellyfish season, so we've got our stinger suits on just in case. The next morning, our second trip to the Whitsundays required a different type of safety measure. That's right, we're flying a float plane out to one of the most famous stretches of sand in the world, Whitehaven Beach. Of course, it made perfect sense for our captain to put a fellow pilot in the right seat. You know, just in case he needs a little help. Even on a partly overcast day, the view and the colors are magnificent. And here's our very first glimpse of beautiful Whitehaven Beach, renowned for its almost pure silica sand and swirling blue water. Our pilot brought us down just off the beach. Unfortunately, he seemed to be able to handle it all by himself. For the next couple of hours, this is our reality. We swam, ate lunch, and walked on the beach in our own little paradise. The water temperature was perfect and crystal clear as a swimming pool.
We're about a third of the way through our campervan trip, and everyone we've met so far has told us you have got to get out to the Whitsunday Islands. So we took their advice, and we're here right now today. We're on Whitehaven Beach, and that's on Whitsunday Island itself.
And the sand here is incredible. It's like walking in a bucket of flour. When you walk at the waterline, your feet sink down into it several inches as you're walking along. I've never seen anything like it and don't exactly know how to describe it, so you may have to get out here and experience it for yourself.
And the sand is so incredibly white that it doesn't even heat up. You can walk right on the beach without shoes. It's really comfortable. It's wonderful.
So we'd like to spend more time here in the Whitsundays, but we have tracks to make, so we're going to be headed south this afternoon. Thank you for watching. and we'll try and get more videos up as quickly as we can. We appreciate your patience as we take the time to experience and video things here and spend a little less time sitting at the computers editing them, but we promise we'll get everything up as soon as we can.
And thank you to everybody who recommended the Whitsundays, because it's beautiful here.
Thanks.
Cooking area has two obvious necessities, the first of which is the sink. We use it to store our dish soap and our hand soap while we're traveling so they don't slide off the counter. And the other side being the cooktop. Lift the lid, 3 burners. Now, before we can use the cooktop, there are 2 things that need to be turned on. The first of which is the LPG or propane, and the second thing is there's a power switch. So in our master control panel here in